March 3rd news. The global electronics supply chain is once again seeing a major price hike signal. Mitsubishi Gas Chemical will raise prices by 30% from April 1st, 2026 across its electronic materials, including CCL, pre-preg, resin substrates, and CLS. This hike affects high-end PCBs and semiconductor packaging substrates. Following Japanese materials giant Resonac, this is yet another Japanese electronic materials manufacturer announcing a significant price increase, marking the entry of global upstream PCB raw materials into a period of strong demand, tight supply, and rising prices. Mitsubishi Gas Chemical stated that this round of price adjustments is due to a concentrated outbreak of cost pressures, rising raw material prices, increasing global labor and logistics costs, and tight production capacity. Consequently, profit margins for the electronic materials business have been severely squeezed, making it impossible to absorb these costs internally. To ensure stable supply and maintain long-term investment in R&D and operational sustainability, the company is forced to implement significant price adjustments across its entire product line. As the core chemical platform of the Mitsubishi Group, Mitsubishi Gas Chemical is a leading global supplier of high-end CCL-BT resin, holding an irreplaceable position in the fields of AI servers, advanced packaging, and high-frequency, high-speed PCBs. Its price adjustment actions are regarded as an authoritative indicator of the industry's overall prosperity. In fact, the wave of collective price increases among Japanese electronic materials manufacturers had already begun. In January 2026, Japan's Resonac announced that, due to shortages and rising costs of key raw materials such as copper foil, glass fiber cloth, and resin, it would raise prices by more than 30% on all copper-clad laminates and adhesive films starting March 1st. In 2 months, 2 top electronic materials makers announced 30% price hikes. This isn't from short-term costs, but structural shifts driven by AI demand and tight high-end capacity. It marks a new phase for the industry, shifting from cost-driven to supply-demand dynamics. Driving this round of price increases is the booming AI infrastructure. Surging demand for large model inference has led global cloud providers to boost capital spending. AI server, HPC, and 800G switch shipments have soared, fueling demand for advanced PCBs. Unlike traditional servers, AI models require more layers, faster speeds, and lower signal loss, forcing upgrades to M8 and M9 grade high-frequency materials. An AI server uses 5 times more high-end electronic fabric, HVLP copper foil, and specialty resins than traditional ones, boosting demand. In the industry chain, the core PCB material is CCL. Its 3 main raw materials, fabric, copper foil, and resin, exceed 85% of costs. These determine PCB performance and efficiency, driving current price hikes. High-end, low-decay, and quartz fiber fabrics are already seeing shortages and rising prices. With low dielectric loss and thermal expansion, quartz fiber is the ideal reinforcement for M9 high-speed materials as the global supply gap grows. Ordinary electronic fabric is oversupplied, but high-end ultra-thin and low dielectric fabric capacity is limited to few makers. Some model prices jumped over 200% this year with extended delivery. HVLP ultra-low profile copper foil is now the AI PCB standard, needing low surface roughness to cut high-speed signal loss. High-end copper foil expansion takes 2 to 3 years, and global output is lagging behind demand, widening the supply gap. Japanese companies such as Mitsui Mining and Smelting and Furukawa Electric have raised prices multiple times. Domestic HVLP copper foil orders are full, and processing fees continue to rise. In resins, PCA and PTFE are key bonding materials for high-end CCLs due to excellent high-frequency dielectric properties. With environmental production limits and high demand, electronic-grade specialty resin prices are rising steadily, driving up CCL costs. AI PCBs are the core incremental component in computing power upgrades. Upstream material barriers and supply-demand dynamics sustain current price hikes. With NVIDIA's Ruby servers launching in late 2026, stocking will peak in the first half. Demand for key materials, electronic fabric, HVLP copper foil, and high-speed resin will surge, keeping prices high. In the industry, Japanese manufacturers like Mitsubishi Gas Chemical and Resonac dominate high-end electronic materials production, supplying top clients like NVIDIA, Broadcom, and TSMC. This makes it harder for smaller firms to secure materials, tightening the market. This combination of rigid supply and explosive demand gives price increases strong transmission power. In order to secure supply, downstream PCB manufacturers generally accept price hikes, and the resulting cost pressure is gradually passed on to the end market. For domestic industry, global price hikes are both a challenge and a strategic chance to speed up domestic substitution. In high-end electronic fabric, HVLP copper foil, and high-speed resin, domestic leaders have broken through into the global top-tier supply chain, gaining from industry-wide volume and price growth. In quartz and low dielectric fabrics, Feilihua, Sinoma, and Honghe are core competitors. Feilihua has fully integrated the quartz fabric supply chain, while Honghe leads in ultra-thin fabric, deeply integrated with high-end clients. In HVLP copper foil, Daifu, Longyang, and Tongguan have quickly certified high-end products, with capacity expansion driving significant growth. In the high-frequency, high-speed resin sector, Dongkai Technology and Shenquan Group have taken the lead in the fields of modified epoxy resin and specialty phenolic resin, benefiting from the surge in demand for high-end CCL. Overall, Mitsubishi Gas Chemicals' 30% price hike is a clear confirmation of the high prosperity in the global electronic materials industry. This round of market growth is driven by AI computing power demand, combined with the slow expansion of high-end production capacity and rising raw material costs. It exhibits both sustained and structural characteristics, rather than being a short-term impulsive rally. From Resinek to Mitsubishi Gas Chemical, the collective price increases by Japanese manufacturers will lead the global CCL and PCB industry chains into a new round of price hikes. Leading domestic upstream firms will see valuation and performance growth. With 2026 being a key year for AI server rollouts and high-speed communication upgrades, the upstream PCB material supercycle has begun. As downstream stocking arrives, shortages of core raw materials will intensify, price hikes should expand, and prosperity will persist all year. For investors, upstream PCB materials are a high-certainty AI subsector with favorable supply-demand dynamics, meriting close attention.